live back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on.
What's going on, guys? It's Bryce from Fitz Records, and we're back with another video. In today's video, we're doing something a little different. Alright, we are doing my first official Q&A on the channel. I asked you guys to ask me questions on my YouTube community page and on my Twitter. Make sure you give that Twitter page a follow, you know what I'm saying? I just made a new account for my channel at Fitz Records. I still have my main account at Fitz Bryce. That's kind of my personal account, but I did make an account for this channel, so that's going to be linked down in the description down below as well if you want to check that out. We got about 30 questions to go through, so I'm going to get right into it, starting with this first question from Hypnotic on YouTube. Ask me what instilled you to do YouTube, and honestly, throughout my whole childhood, I just watched a lot of YouTube. Like, all the way through middle school, high school, even before that, elementary school, I was just watching YouTube. I wouldn't really watch TV shows really that much. I wouldn't really watch movies. The only movies I really watched as a kid were like franchise movies like Star Wars, Marvel movies, and stuff like that, Lord of the Rings. But I just loved YouTube, and it was always my dream to become a YouTuber. So we kind of getting on that right now, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of entertainment I was into, so that is what I'm doing now. The next question right here comes from, I can't read that, but they're from YouTube, and they are asking, what are you doing school-wise? I'm currently a business marketing major. Nothing crazy. I don't have any minors or anything like that. I'm not going to I probably will not end up going to get my master's, but I'm going to get my bachelor's in marketing because I want to do marketing, advertising, management, something like that along the lines in the music industry. And, you know, obviously with this YouTube channel and my brand at this point, you know, I say that's pretty viable, and I'm definitely learning things in classes that I can take back and, you know, use with the Fitz Records brand. I mean, I've been doing that, really. Like, I've learned a lot through school, and I'm just going to learn more as I get more into that major in my senior year. So next question we got, what's the best advice you've been told? Now, this wasn't specifically told to me. This wasn't like a one-on-one conversation I had with this man, but if you are a Logic fan, you've probably heard his quote that is something I pretty much live by, and if I haven't been living by this, I definitely would have never communicated with him. I definitely would have never met him. I definitely would never have this channel. I definitely would not have the platform I have today and the giant platform I'm going to have in the future. But the best piece of advice would be from Logic, and he always said, if you want something, if you want to make it, if you're pushing for something, you got to want it more than your next breath. You got to think about that constantly. You can't, you really got to want it more than your next breath, and I do. And I've just been continuing to live by that, and as I keep continuing to live by that, I just keep seeing more and more success, so that's definitely the best advice that I've ever been told. And that was from Hershey Squirt 757 on YouTube, sorry about that. Next question here is from the man 141 on YouTube. He said, favorite album art cover of all time, and that's easy right here. We're going to fly through this question. It is No Pressure, Logic No Pressure cover art. In my opinion, most beautiful cover art of all time. It is just, oh God, Sam Spratt killed it. Sam Spratt, it is genuinely perfect. Next question we get from Alex Flores. Was the last song that made you cry? Now, we gonna get a little personal right here. The last song that made me cry was, what is it even called? It's that song Joey Badass sampled from Men I Trust. I think it's Show Me. I think it's called Show Me by Joey Badass. That is the last song that made me cry. God, it's emotional. I related to a lot of the lines in the song, when the song came out, in that time in my life, and shit, it kind of cut a little deep, okay? But that's all I'm going to say about that. Next question's here. James Phillips, who is your favorite rapper? Who's your biggest inspiration? Same person for both those questions. It's Logic. Logic's my favorite rapper. Been following him since I was in middle school, basically, and I'm in my junior year of college now, and my biggest inspiration, also Logic, because I look up to him a lot, and the way he lives his life, and a lot of the mental ideals he has about himself. I've definitely taken a liking to a lot of that, and I've definitely been using that for my advantage. Next question here, we got Demon on the Beat. What are your plans for the future? My plans for the future are to continue uploading on this channel weekly, as much as I can. I've been looking at like three videos a week is about the average of what I've kind of found comfortable with, but I'm just going to keep doing that, man. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep improving my content. I'm going to keep becoming a better creator, and we'll just see where that takes me. Those are my plans for the future. Next question here, we got Kagator. What is an artist you're glad to have discovered or been recommended to you? Zaloopers. Shout out Zaloopers, man. Detroit artist. Holy shit. One of the most interesting artists I've found. He's been making music for almost a decade at this point, maybe even longer, and he's incredible. He makes interesting music. He makes funny music. He's a true artist. All right, if you haven't checked out Zoolopers, definitely check that out. I can't remember how I found. Oh, my roommate, one of my roommates put me onto him, and I was like, holy shit. But yeah, he's fire. Next question here we got from Meowcat on YouTube. What are your top 5 favorite rappers of all time or alive? So it's because you can go two ways with this list. You can do the top 5 best or your top 5, and he's asking me my top 5. So I'm just gonna do my personal top 5 rappers that like artists I listen to the most now. What are my favorite artists? Not completely disregarding lyrical ability or anything. Just going into what I'm listening to a lot and what's my favorite currently. So the first, sir, hold on. Should I go top to bottom? We'll do top. My favorite one, it's easier for me. Favorite one's got to be Logic. Then you put probably JID there. You put Denzel, Kendrick, and then in the 5th spot, we'll put Cardi. All right, Cardi might even be higher. Cardi's probably number 2. Fuck that, yeah. Logic, Cardi, and then same list. Jid, we'll do Kendrick, and then Denzel. That's it from top to bottom. That's my list. So moving on to Twitter questions now from the GOAT, Relix YouTube. Shout out you. You are kind of blowing up crazy on YouTube. But he said, what are your hobbies outside of music? Well, as you can see here, literally have MW2 gameplay, so I've been playing a little bit of that. And that's it. My hobbies consist of making YouTube videos and listening to music, because I don't have fucking time for anything else. I'm either at my real job, at university, I'm studying, I'm doing homework, or I'm making a YouTube video, quite frankly. I rarely have time to do about anything else, but that's a sacrifice I'm taking for my 20s that, I want to make it in YouTube, so that's a sacrifice I'm making. Gonna continue to make that as I go, but good question, Relix. Next one comes from Kara on Twitter, and she asked, genuinely, what did you feel when Logic got in touch with you? Jesus Christ, I can't fucking speak. Excited, anxious, nervous. So, I've actually been in touch with Logic, not really personally, like on a texting, like one-to-one, like I haven't really ever, but I've never really been in touch with him like that. But Logic had, first time he ever contacted me or showed me any recognition was about in 2020, so a few years ago, and I think he just like replied to one of my tweets. He was like on Twitter like he does randomly. But since then, since I've been pushing on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, he's left a plethora of comments, both on my Twitter, on my TikTok especially. He was always kind of on there commenting on random videos. But when, what I assume you're referring to is when he gave me my free tickets for the rest of my life. I was at work. I was actually at work. Like I was just saying, I'm always fucking doing something. I was at work, and I just looked at my phone, and it said Logic followed you, and I was like, what? And I open it, and then I saw the tweet where he's like, you get free tickets, and I had 30 minutes to clock out, and I was pretty fucking busy at that moment, so I just put my phone down, and was super anxious for 30 minutes, and then I eventually opened it, saw all the shit. I was extremely excited. I had a loss for words, honestly. Then the next day he duetted that TikTok. It was crazy. Of course, I went to the show. He paid for me and my friends to go in. He showed me some love at the show. He gave me a bunch of free merch. So that was, excited. Not as nervous as I thought I'd be. When I was going to the show, and Logic was sitting there on a stage in front of thousands of people, and my face was on that big screen. He was just talking. I really wasn't that nervous. It seemed like normal almost. It seemed a little normal for some reason. So that's definitely excited. Definitely. Speechless is really the right word. Next question here we got from Ross on Twitter. He said, "What's your favorite gaming memory of all time?" Definitely playing a lot of the raids from Destiny 1. I don't know if you guys played Destiny, the first Destiny. I never played the second one, but the first one, oh my god, playing fucking the Crota raid, whatever the fuck it's called, the Taken King raid as well, against Onyx, that Vault of Glass raid, just raids in Destiny, man. Those were some of my favorite times. Just the way you could communicate with people, make friends, and something about that, the loot and shoot, you get so excited to get your loot, you're always excited to see what you could get, working with people, making new friends on these huge, difficult raids. That was a good time, man. That was a good time. Next question here, Elijah from Twitter, he said, what motivates you to keep doing what you do? And I just, like I was saying earlier with the Logic quote, I want it more than my next breath. I really fucking do. And I just see progress, The more I upload, the more, views I get every month, the more subscribers I get every month, whatever, the more the more everything. So I know I'm doing something right, and my content just keeps getting better and better. So if I just keep improving and stuff, and keep going, what's stopping me? The only thing that could possibly stop me is if I stop. So I'm not going to stop. And I think that's just something everyone needs to live by. Even if you're not really seeing progress, you should still keep going, because you never know. And I'm sure, no doubt, if you just keep going, you're inevitably going to get better. And just that combined with the time, you're gonna see some progress on whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So this one comes from Jake on Twitter. He says, "What's your favorite Logic song you've heard live?" Now, favorite Logic song I've heard live. I've seen Logic 4 times in concert. It's got to be 44 More, man. I mean, shit, man. That shit is hard. It's just crazy. I miss when that was the opener to his tour, because that shit was wild when it was. Definitely one of the hardest songs, and you hear it live and hear him spit every word of that song flawlessly is crazy. Next, we got a question from Surge over on Twitter. Favorite instrumental on Planetary Destruction? I'm just going to answer that right now. A double sample. Boom. Beautiful track. It is literally the only track on that album that's just an instrumental, but it's that good and it's that deserving of it, so that's my answer. And next we got one from Dante on Twitter. Shout out Dante, I love you. He said, "What's your favorite song from each Cardi album?" So we're going with self-titled. What's that fucking song, Rocky? New Choppa. Alright, New Choppa. And then Die Lit, we gonna go Lean for Real, because what the fuck? And then Whole Lotta Red. Oh, God. Oh, there's so many good tracks, but I'll have to go with track 3, Stop Breathing. You know what I'm saying? Almost said New Tank, but Stop Breathing. So yeah, we'll do New Choppa, Lean for Real, and Stop Breathing. God, what a flawless run of albums from Playboi Carti. Next, we got a question from Jumpman85 on YouTube, or, well, it's on Twitter, but he says it has YouTube in his name. He says, "How do you stay motivated to create new ideas for video?" Wait, what's he say? "How do you stay motivated to create new videos? For example, you have a string of videos that didn't perform as well you'd hope." It's honestly just like, you never know with YouTube. The YouTube algorithm is weird. I've had the YouTube algorithm pick up videos I did not think it was going to pick up. Not pick up videos I was sure it was going to pick up. Then I put hours and hours and hours of effort in because I was sure it was going to pick up, just for the algorithm to fuck me. So my rule of thumb is, like, the algorithm's going to algorithm, alright? I have little to no true control over that, apart from what I'm already doing, metadata, thumbnail, title, stuff like that. So I'm just going to keep uploading, and just, inevitably videos are going to do good. And yeah, inevitably videos are going to do bad. And you just have to accept that and not get discouraged by that. Because, for every how many videos do bad, you gonna get one video that does good, and that video gonna pay the bills for the month. Alright, next question here from Eros. Shout out Eros on Twitter. He said, "How do you think of ideas for content creation? And will you only do hip-hop or other genres in the future? By the way, will you do vlogs, Day with Fitz Records in the future?" So, think of ideas for music is, I'm always listening to music. I'm always keeping up with what's next. I'm always tapped in with, like, what's going on in hip-hop community. So it's really as easy as thinking about, like, not really like a current event or news, but just thinking of, like, something that has to kind of do with that sphere. And not to toot my own horn, but I know a lot about hip-hop and music. So I feel like I can definitely have a grasp on any kind of content I want to make. There's not a crazy amount of research that goes in my videos, because everything is pretty much pulled from my brain. And of course, like, I'll research to fact check and find files and, clips for the actual editing process of the video. But for the most part, that shit's in my head. And you asked if I'll do other genres. I'd definitely be open to other genres, but the thing with that is, I would actually have to research for those videos, because I can't just pull things out of my head. But I'd love to branch out. I mean, I am a music lover, but I mainly only really listen to hip-hop, so that's where a lot of my content's coming from, and that's kind of what I want to build my fan base around, at least at the moment. And about vlogs, Day with Fitz Records in the future, maybe. I'm not going to scratch that off. That just doesn't seem to be where my channel's heading and the kind of content I want to create. But, maybe in the future, I will want to do that, so I'm not going to completely deny that. But at the moment, probably not going to be doing any vlogs or anything like that. That's just not what I'm aiming to do right now with the channel. This next question here comes from Horton. He said, "What's your house address?" Okay. This next question here is from Will Wingrove on Twitter. He said, "What got you into music content creation?" I kind of answered this earlier, but really just YouTube, man. I was watching so much YouTube. I was watching so much YouTube before I even, like, started listening to music. So this was, like, a long time thing. YouTube was heavily ingrained in me. That's, like, what I did with 50% of my free time as growing up. I mean, really, that's, like, all I did. And then as far as the music part is, as I got older, as I got into music, found a huge love for music. And that was about the only other thing I did apart from YouTube. And I would go on YouTube to watch hip-hop videos and such. So it just felt right to combine them. And that's where I'm at right now with everything. The next question here comes from Ryan at Mind of Ryan on Twitter. He said, what motivates you to keep posting on social media as often as you do? Do you ever feel burnout or a sense of pressure to be that guy to get the newest piece of news out first? Love you, Bryce. I love you too, Ryan. Thank you for supporting for so long. And to answer that, basically, I do feel pressure. I do a lot. But if it was an overbearing amount of pressure, I would take care of myself. It's not a lot of pressure, and I actually I'm kind of stepping away from news, not as entirety, but as strictly on this channel, because it's like these news sources, these news outlets for hip hop have infinitely more resources than I do. Excuse me. So they're gonna crack the story first, and they're gonna get all the attention, most of the attention. So what am I looking like competing with these people? So I'm trying to be a little bit more creative with all my outlets, so that kind of gets rid of some of that pressure, but still, there is a lot of pressure to still post daily on pretty much all of my outlets, and, I'm okay with that. It's not like news pressure to where I feel like I have to drop what I'm doing at that exact moment and post something, so that kind of takes away a little bit of the stress from it, to answer that question. This next question here from Juicy John on Twitter. He said, Dream Logic collab and favorite COD. Dream Logic collab. Get this man up with Kendrick, man. I need Logic rapping with Kendrick. That's genuinely my dream collab. Need that shit. Logic, Kendrick. And favorite COD. Hot take here, Black Ops 3. I think it's better than Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is my second favorite COD, though, so it's alright. Black Ops 3, just the zombies and the multiplayer combined. I think it's Black Ops 3. The only thing that's holding that back really is supply drops, and I didn't mind the boost jumps and shit in that game. I don't give a shit. Black Ops 2 is still fucking classic, though. Next question here from Hold the Q. We got a few questions here. He said, what is the process building some quality content on short notice? I got creative, alright? I learned how to edit, I learned how to make thumbnails, and I had a lot of knowledge, and I was just like, fuck it, bro. We gonna put these skills to use, and I appreciate that. Call my content quality. I do appreciate that. His second question is, what's been the highest point in your career to date? Definitely getting shouted out, Logic Show, getting all those tickets, you know what I'm saying, getting the free merch, that's definitely that. Any future plans on building a brand and growing beyond it, and I kind of covered this earlier, but just uploading, man, uploading. I'm going to continue outreach. I might have to take advantage of other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook. I haven't tapped into those at all with the brand at all, but, that's just keep going, man. Keep doing what I'm doing, keep improving. I'll come up with new ideas as, time passes. I can't really answer that now, but I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I love you too, bro. I love you too. And the next question here is from Gman3712. He said, why is the sky blue? And then he says, genuine question, what motivates you to keep doing what you do? Your handsomeness, G-Man. That's what motivates me. And this next question, this person asked a lot of questions on YouTube. Well endowed. I don't know if I read that right, but we're going to just speed through this. I'm going to answer these as fast as possible. His first question, what songs make you nostalgic? What memory connect you to those songs? Logic's mixtapes make me nostalgic. Listening to them on the bus in middle school on Dat Piff. That's nostalgia, all that. The songs, Spotify, Apple, repeat play favorites in the playlist, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to just link my Spotify down there. Go on my playlist. I got like 40 plus playlists. You can just go down there. As far as what I'm listening to right now, a lot of that Metro album, that shit's fire. A lot of Valet album, that shit's fire too. I Swear Vezo Dita Drama album, I'm listening to that as well a lot. Been listening to a lot of Dom Corleo, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, Homicide Gang, shit like that. Underground hip-hop artists you fuck with the most, I kind of just listed that. But all of Opium, pretty much. And, I like Summers a lot. I like Can a lot, too. But if I was just favorite, I'd say Ken Carson. Ken Carson is probably my favorite. Albums in rotation after they released. Whole Lot of Red. Still play it all the time. That's a Whole Lot of Red, for sure. Who I think is going to blow up in the hip-hop game in 2023? Dom Corleo. Just watch it. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you will next year. So it's all good. And do you think an artist, do you think when an artist you love oversaturates discography, it becomes harder to enjoy their song? Why or why not? I don't really think oversaturation makes it harder. It can just make it harder for other people. I don't know. If you oversaturate a lot of people seem to not fuck with that. Me, I can listen to as much music as you release. I don't care. But, there is a sort of exclusivency, if you will. If you don't release that much. So definitely, I think that can become a factor, especially with the masses, Cardi's a master at that. Not releasing music makes his music more popular. It just does. It's a fact. Are you planning to do any type of album raw reactions in the future? I would love to, actually. Thought about that. definitely would love to. Maybe when I get a little bit bigger, people recognize my face more, I could do that, because then I could put my face in the thumbnail. You know, putting a face in the thumbnail now basically guarantees 0 views for me, so I don't really do that anymore. But definitely, and what piece of entertainment media are you looking forward to see released in 2023? Jedi Survivor, the fucking new Star Wars game, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. I need that shit, Jedi Survivor. I need that shit ASAP. I need that shit right fucking now. It looks so good. But that's about all I got for you guys today. I mean, that's the Q&A. I definitely want to do more of these in the future. But, you know, I asked a few of the questions on YouTube, Twitter. This is what you guys came up with. So thank you so much for you submitting your question. If your question didn't make it, I'm sorry. I'm going to do another one, though. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos, any content, anything like that. Go in the description, follow my TikTok, my Spotify, my Twitter down there, too. And, yeah, it's been Bryce. Peace.
Can I picture little Bobby, just a young'un run around with his bands, hammer in his hand, feeling like a man. Run for the pole, get the gun, put it in your